Blessings to everybody. Listen, I need you to get in here very quickly because I'm not going to be here long. I'm not going to be here long. I'm not going to wait till the masses come in because I've got something that I want to share with you, and I've got something that I want to drop in your spirit. I was literally just coming from the gym. Of having, of course, just worked out. I was just coming from the gym, and as I was coming from the gym, blessings to everybody. Don't have time to, of course, individually call your names out. Do charge it to my head and not my heart. But I was literally just coming from the gym, having done a workout, and as I was driving my car. As I was driving my car coming down the highway, the Lord began to speak to me. God began to minister to me. I want you to get in here quick because I'm not going to be here all day. I promise you. If I take up rather 4 minutes of your time, this time around, I've taken up 4 minutes too long. But I'm not going to be here long. But I was literally coming down the street, driving down the street after having worked out at the gym, and in my car coming down the highway. The Lord began to speak to me, and I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, that in this season, that your lives are about to begin to take alternate directions. I want you to get this and hear this. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. I want you to catch this in the Spirit. If you don't catch this, if you don't get this, you're going to miss this. The Lord began to speak to me, and as I was driving down the street, I heard the Spirit of the Lord saying, he said, tell the people of God that in this season, their lives are about to begin to take alternate directions. Their lives are about to begin to take alternate directions and different paths. But then I heard the Spirit of the Lord say this, and I want you to hear this and get this. I heard the Spirit of the Lord say this. He says, but tell them not alternate, indifferent, in that you're about to do something that wasn't planned. I want you to get this in the Holy Ghost. I'm telling you, God spoke to me, and I heard this so loud and clear, resounding within the very depths of my spirit. He says, but tell them that I said not alternate or different, in that they are about to do something that wasn't planned. He says, but tell them alternate, indifferent, in that they are about to do something that was planned, but they themselves chose to take a different path that I had not chosen for them. My God, I feel this in the glory. Listen, I'm telling you, I heard this word so loud in my spirit, it was almost as if God was sitting next to me. It was almost as if God was sitting next to me in the driver's seat. Notice I didn't say the passenger seat because God don't ride passenger. I've discovered that if God can't drive, he ain't riding. Y'all listening to me? God says if I can't drive, I don't want to ride. That's why I didn't say that God was sitting in the passenger seat. I told you God was sitting in the driver's seat because God ain't sitting in nobody's passenger seat. God says, if I can't drive, I don't want to ride, y'all. Are y'all with me? God is, listen, he's ride or die. He's ride or die, but he got to drive. Y'all ain't saying nothing. But the Lord said to me, he says, tell them that I said, this will not be alternate and different, in that they are about to do something that wasn't planned. But they're about to do something alternate and different that was planned, but they themselves chose to take a different direction and a different path. And I heard the Spirit of the Lord begin to say to me, Dr. G, God said this to me, and I'm telling you, I heard this in the Holy Ghost. The Lord said this to me. He says, but tell them that even though the path that they took and the turn in which they made was not planned, God told me to tell you that it was still purposed. I'm telling you, I heard this in the Holy Ghost. You got to get this. He says, tell them that I said, that even though the path in which they chose and the turn in which they made, watch this now, that I did not command them to. He says, tell them that even though the path in which they chose and the turn in which they made was not planned, he says, tell them that I said it was still purposed. He that hath ears, let him hear. I said, he that hath ears, let him hear. 3 more minutes and I'm out of here. Because God said this to me. God said this to me. God said this to me. And it literally ignited something in my spirit. God said this to me and it ignited something in my spirit. Have you ever been around a German Shepherd? When he hears this whistle, his hearing is so keen that his ears literally stand up at attention. God said something to me that literally made my spiritual ear stand up at attention. He says, tell them that even though the path that they took and the turn that they made was not planned, he says, tell them that it was still purpose. Watch this now. Watch this now. Because everything that's purposed ain't planned. You got to get this in the Holy Ghost. Listen, give me 2 minutes and I'm out of here. I said everything that's purposed ain't planned. Don't think that just because it's purposed, it's planned. Everything that's purposed is not planned. For those of us in whom are intimate with the text, watch this now. When Moses missed the promised land, there was a purpose in it. Watch this, but it wasn't God's plan. Because you got to get this in the Holy Ghost. I said, when Moses missed the promised land, there was a purpose in it. But that was not God's initial plan, because everything that's purposed ain't planned. And the purpose in it, watch this now, was to teach both you and I what not to do. God says, I'm going to allow this thing to happen. I'm going to give it a purpose. And the purpose is to teach you and I what not to do. Watch this now. It was purposed, but it wasn't planned. My God, I feel the glory in this. So the Lord would have me to tell you that even though you have taken some wrong turns and you have made some bad decisions, they were not taken and nor were they made in vain. He says, tell them that I was schooling them and I was educating them even through the mistakes that they themselves made. Can I tell you that even when you make mistakes, it's not in vain? Because God has a way of, my God, I feel glory now. I'm out of here. God has a way of flipping the script and changing the channel and using the bad mistakes in which you made to educate you, watch this now, and school you in order to better you. God said to tell you that even the mistakes in life that you made and the wrong turns, that he says, tell them that I was using that to educate them and to school them in order to better them. You've been in school. You've been in the Holy Ghost highest school of learning. God was educating you. Watch this now. Get this in the Holy Ghost, because watch this. God's about to free somebody. Y'all ready? God's about to free somebody. God's about to deliver somebody. Here it is. Here it is. And because I was schooling you, I'm not holding your wrong decisions against you. Somebody write that. Listen, that was a good shouting place. I said that was a good, if you ain't never shouted before in your life, that was a good place to shout. I heard the Holy Ghost say, he says, and tell them, because I was schooling them and I was educating them, that I am not going to hold their wrong decisions, their bad mistakes, their misdirection against them. Watch this. But I'm going to use them to elevate them. This is elevation season. Get that in the Holy Ghost. I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm gone. This is elevation season. God's about to use everything that he used to school you and to educate you, to elevate you. He said, tell the people of God, I'm not holding their wrong decisions against them. I'm not holding their taking a wrong path against them. Tell them that I was schooling them and I was educating them. And because I was schooling them and educating them, I am not going to use it against them, but I'm going to use what I was using to school them and to educate them, to elevate them. For your shame, ye shall have double. See, the enemy was trying to use your bad decisions and your wrong turns to shame you and to embarrass you and to humiliate you. But God says, tell them that in this season, I'm going to flip that script and change that channel. And the very thing that the devil was trying to use to shame them and humiliate them and embarrass them, he says, tell them I'm going to use it to elevate them, because I was actually using what the enemy was trying to use to shame you, to educate you. Can I tell you that God knows how to flip a script and change a channel? I said, my God, I feel glory. I said, can I tell you that God knows how to flip? Somebody say, I'm going to sow a seed on that word. I saw you. God says, can I tell you that God knows how to flip a script and change a channel? Watch this now. The very devil that was trying to embarrass you in this season, God says, I'm about to embarrass him. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I said, the very enemy, I'm prophesying right now. I said, the very enemy that was trying to embarrass you and humiliate you, God says, I'm about to embarrass him and humiliate him, because the very thing that he thought was going to destroy you is actually elevating you. The very thing he thought that was going to shame you is actually elevating you. The very thing he thought that was going to humiliate you is actually going to elevate you. The very thing that he thought, watch this now, that I was going to use against you to close the door on you, God says, I'm going to use that very thing to elevate you. My God, I feel glory. I said the very thing. Okay, all right. I'm trying to compose myself, but I feel something. I said the very thing, the very mistake that the devil thought that God was going to use against you to close the door on you and to turn the light off on you, God says, I'm going to use that very thing to elevate you. That's why I told you, for your shame, ye shall have double. Everything the devil tried to shame you through, embarrass you through, and humiliate you through, God says, I'm flipping that script and changing that channel and using it to elevate you.